Welcome back, everyone. We're here today with our second Cabral HouseCall of the weekend. Thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate all of your listens, your downloads, your subscribes, your reviews. If you haven't done that yet, if you could please subscribe and rate and review the podcast, I would absolutely love that and appreciate that. I read all of your reviews, and it means the world to me that first, I get to do what I love, sharing with the world what helped me and also what has helped the now well over 250,000 clients and client appointments that we've been able to help in our practice. But I really do love these weekend house calls too. I love being able to open up this big document from now well over 5,000 questions that we've answered on the show and just connect with more people all over the world. I've been doing book signings. I've been visiting a lot of different cities around the US and just getting to listen to people and their stories. And I think you'd be amazed that everybody typically feels like they're going through this alone, that nobody else understands, but yet the stories are the same. You know, there might be different health issues, no doubt about it, but the stories are the same. And I just want you to know that you're not alone, that people all over the world are suffering just like you. But the nice thing is there's so many people that have healed, and there's always an answer. And so hopefully in these house calls, it's my way to at least get you started without sharing any particular medical advice, diagnosis, treatment plans, or cures. It's that place to get started that if you were to begin to seek that next level, what would you go for? And so hopefully I'm able to steer you in that right direction. All right, let's get started answering your wellness, weight, and anti-aging based questions. Just open the document here today. First question's from Richard. It's a long one, so I'll try to ad lib as much as I can here. If you want to read all of the questions today, please do head on over to stephencabral.com/2437. All right. Richard says, hello, Dr. Cabral. About 9 months ago, I started working with your wonderful team at Equalife to rebalance my body and get healthy again. Took the big 5, worked with my coach, came up with a plan, did this detox, the CBO protocol, mold protocol, and heavy metal. At the end of it all, I even did a 21-day detox to help clean out additional toxins. I am still in a hypothyroid state due to Hashimoto's. I understand that some people will need medication or some type of glandular support after rebalancing their body if there was destruction of thyroid tissue. The problem is that I can't seem to tolerate thyroid medication and even natural glandulars. When I take these, I get symptoms such as insomnia, heart palpitations, anxiety, even the smallest dosages, just like symptoms of being over-medicated. I've done a lot of research over the years, read a lot of books, and it says that low cortisol can prevent the thyroid hormones from entering the cell. According to my stress mood and metabolism test, my cortisol results were fine. A few years ago, I was on cortisol medication, which helped enable me to tolerate the medication, but it didn't help my symptoms. Same thing happened while taking adrenal cortex. My question is, you ever have a patient that couldn't tolerate medication or glandulars? How did you resolve this? Been in hypothyroid for 30 years, healthy lifestyle. I had to retype this question and shorten it once the text field prevented me from typing it. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a big question. All right. I'm happy to help though. Okay. So you've had Hashimoto's for quite some time. There may actually be destruction of your thyroid gland. So I always tell people that you're absolutely able to rebalance the thyroid as long as the thyroid is still intact, right? And if the thyroid is still intact, you're able to do that. Yours very well could be damaged. 30 years, this particular issue, things are not functioning properly. So you take thyroid medication or a glandular, and it puts you into a state of what looks like hyperthyroidism instead of hypothyroidism. So hypo is low mood, low energy, low libido, sometimes higher cholesterol, thinning hair, dry skin, brain fog, etc. Hyperthyroidism is basically the opposite. Anxious, oftentimes overwhelmed, heart palpitations, weight loss, elevated metabolism, etc. Okay, so there's obviously a happy medium, right? So the thing is, you can use a product, again, not giving medical advice, such as the Adrenal Energy Support, which provides you with items, herbs like licorice root, that would help to boost your adrenals. Just because you're fine on your lab doesn't mean that you cannot optimize to a further level. Now, a serving is 2 capsules in the morning and 2 capsules at lunch, breakfast and lunch. You don't know what you could tolerate. So you may just start with 1 capsule at breakfast. How do you do? Any better? No. Okay. How about 2 capsules at breakfast? Any better? A little bit better. Good. Let's do that for a week. Any better? Yeah, a little bit better. Okay. Now let's do 1 capsule at lunch. Any better? Yeah, much better. Good. Let's try a second one at lunch for the full serving. Any better? No. Now you have heart palpitations, you don't feel as well. Okay, let's go back to 2 in the morning, 1 at lunch. So what we're doing is we're finding your bio-individuality of what actually works. The other thing is, I want to make sure that your body is getting all the nutrients it needs. So if the thyroid is functioning in some way, would a daily thyroid support help? It's not a glandular. It's the iodine, selenium, the zinc, ashwagandha, other things that your thyroid can use and needs, clinically proven, vitamin A, etc. So, and again, that's 2 capsules in the morning, 2 at night, or 2 at breakfast, 2 at dinner. Do you do all 4 at once? No, not if you're someone that's sensitive, right? For an average person, sure, they might try it. But you might do 1 at breakfast. So I can't tell you exactly what to do. You should always work with your practitioner, but that's what I would look at first, without a doubt. Like without a doubt. And I would make sure that your vitamin D is optimized. So if you're not taking vitamin D, absolutely optimize that as well. All right, Richard? Keep up the great work. I mean, you're doing fantastic. So let's just keep on keeping on and figure out this last part. Carrie's up next. I understand that my APOe4 genotype or allele is a 2-4. What does that mean for me? I was told I have a 50% chance of acquiring Alzheimer's. Thank you. Okay. Whoever told you that, hopefully it was just an article you read and it was misconstrued. If a practitioner told you that, they should never do that. That is the most nocebo effect, and also it's incorrect information. All right. I have a bunch of podcasts on APOE genotypes. Please ask that at cabralsupportgroup.com, and the amazing Michelle will help you find that. If you cannot, so you can just go to stephencabral.com/podcasts and literally just type in allele, A-L-L-E-L-E, or APOE, and you should be able to find it. Okay. So the only people who have a much greater chance of developing Alzheimer's is the APOE genotype 4-4. But that doesn't mean there's a 50% chance that they'll get it. Even if you have a 4-4, doesn't mean that you have a 50% greater chance of getting it. People say, oh, you have a 90% chance of getting Alzheimer's. Nope, that's not true. So you tell me 9 out of 10 people who have an APOE genotype 4-4 get Alzheimer's? No, that's not true at all. It's not true. Only it's about 6% of the population. It's just not true. They have a 90% greater chance than the other APOE genotypes of getting Alzheimer's. That doesn't, it's not a coin flip. Not a coin flip. 9 out of 10 coin flips, they're all on heads. That means you're going to get it. No, it's a 90% greater chance. Still doesn't mean you need to get it. Okay, the next group that is most susceptible is a 3-4 for getting Alzheimer's. A 2-4 still contains the 4. You don't want the 4. Okay, you have a 2-4, but a 2-4 is more protected than a 3-4 or a 4-4. So just sharing that with you. Whoever told you that, you don't have a 50% greater chance. You don't have a 50% chance of getting Alzheimer's. You have a slightly greater chance of potentially getting Alzheimer's, but it's also not just based on this specific allele. So go back, check out my podcast on Alzheimer's. I did a 3-part series that literally you go through all of the different reasons why someone gets Alzheimer's. It's not a mystery. And also, I went over another podcast which just showed all cases of Alzheimer's can be stopped or reversed, and this is clinical medical science. There was only one during the study that was not able to be stopped or reversed with the protocol, and that person had terminal Alzheimer's, they call it. They were too far down the road, all right? So hopefully that was helpful and kind of put your mind at ease. It does mean still be healthy, right? Still do those right things, but no, whoever told you have a 50% chance of getting Alzheimer's was incorrect. Sandra's up next. My almost 6-year-old son has had a cut under his big toe where the toe meets the foot, and sometimes it looks irritated and other times it dries out. The cut runs from end to end on his toe, at one point on both big toes, and now only one. I've tried fully drying it out with a hair dryer during the winter, applying tea tree oil treatments, but this one cut is always there. Do you have any advice on what it can be and how to heal it? Yeah, it's possible that it's a fungal infection or a certain like psoriasis of the foot that's showing up as a cut, probably not psoriasis, but, and again, I'm not giving you medical diagnosis here. I've seen it most often with fungal-based infections, like an athlete's foot type thing. And typically what we do is we do some diluted apple cider vinegar and water soaks once or twice a day. You could also just do a spray and let the foot dry. It has to be directly over the whole area in that particular cut. If it's an open cut, it will sting, so don't do that. You could certainly do coconut oil instead. The tea tree oil may not just be working for you quite yet. Colloidal silver spray can often be very effective with that as well. And then just look at like moisture wicking socks that he's wearing during the day too, that it does not allow moisture to just sit there. That can be very, very helpful. And make sure you're not wearing socks to bed. And you might even have to apply a little bit of that ointment overnight as well in order to be able to get rid of whatever this is at the bottom of that foot. Can I give you any other thoughts or process besides that or starting there? That's what I would start with. All right. All right. Tanya's up next. Tanya says, hi there. I'm pretty confident that you and your team can help my aunt get on the right track with her health, but I thought I'd write in so my cousins here can hear it for themselves. Now I'm going to be very vague because I don't know many details, but I do know that it's okay as far as you point in the right direction. My aunt has kidney issues. She currently does dialysis 3 times a week and has been for quite some time. One time she told me she is only allowed to drink 8 ounces of water a day. And my dad has told me she has not urinated in years. I would love so much for her to not have to spend the rest of her life like this. Where can we start? Thank you so much for all of your knowledge and care. I plan to join IHB and have just started reading your book. Well, Tanya, thank you for writing in. Appreciate you and happy to help. So whenever someone is undergoing medical treatment, what we hope to do is not replace their medical doctor. We want to work in conjunction. So we can't say something like, stop your dialysis. That would be irresponsible, right? So what we want to do is just say, why is this person's kidney function not working properly? And we have to go through that. Is there a gut permeability issue where too much protein, which is very common, by the way, is seeping into the bloodstream, and then it's being filtered by the liver? That absolutely destroys the liver. High levels of creatinine, et cetera. Okay, the second is, are they taking a particular medication that's hurting the kidneys? Are they taking, or we're taking certain diuretics? Is there an issue with the liver? So we need to make sure that there's no like medical issues there first, or if they are, they're being worked on. After that, we run what's called the Big 5 labs. So we're running, I mean, even if we only started with the starter kit, it would be the best place to start. What do the vitamins, minerals, heavy metals, et cetera look like? Then you could run omega-6s to omega-3s. Then you could look at, and again, we have to be careful because what if she's on blood thinners? So this is why we have to work with the specialist to be able to get the body healthy. And remember, a healthy body can't be sick. A healthy body can't be on dialysis. So what our job is to fix the underlying root causes, like maybe gut issues, that's creating inflammation and gut permeability that's then stressing the kidneys. So that's where we start. So hopefully that's helpful. All the labs can be found at stephencabral.com/labs. You don't even need to run them with our team. Like maybe locally, your aunt feels more comfortable meeting with someone in person. Great. Look up a naturopathic doctor in your area that can run these labs as well. That would be totally fine. Again, my goal is to help people. You don't have to work with us. You can work with whoever is a qualified practitioner that can help you see it through. All right. Tara is up next. We'll make this probably the last question of the day. Hi there. I love your podcast and I've gotten so much out of it. Thank you for all you do. I'm currently reading your book, The Rainbow Effect, for the second time. It's such an informative read, stuff I wish I learned earlier in life. I homeschool my 3 young boys and would love to utilize your book in our homeschool program. It may be a bit advanced for them, but I can adjust it to their level. I was wondering if you ever thought of writing a book geared more towards our younger generation. Or do you have a recommendation of books I can incorporate into our day? Thank you so much, Tara. You know what? That's a great idea and thought. And I would love for you to just literally let me know. You can direct message me on Instagram if you'd like. What that would look like. You know, what would you want for homeschooling or kids learning? Because I've taught my kids since they were born about, you know, why they're eating these vegetables, that it doesn't have to be your favorite taste, that not everything is meant to be, you know, for malt pleasure and your favorite thing. That these things are what help to keep our body healthy. And these foods, they're not necessarily bad foods, but these foods can make us tired. We promote it because a kid doesn't know what health is, right? But they know what kind of feeling tired is, or not being able to concentrate, or in a bad mood. And we've taught, my wife and I, not just me, my wife and I, have taught our daughters these things. That we also can't be staring at an iPad or a computer all day. That we need to get up and move our bodies. We feel better when we move our bodies. We feel better when we get sunlight, right? We feel better even though we don't want to go to bed at night. We need to make sure that we don't feel tired when we wake up in the morning, right? So that's the de-stress protocol in my book, right? That's the first half of the book is how we get sick, right? The top 10 toxins. The second half of the book is how we get well. And so I explain those things to children, but I guess in a child-based way. And I'm actually looking for an editor and copywriter in the future to be able to take a lot of my podcasts and courses and work and help me edit these into books. And so if anybody knows a great editor, again, just direct message me on Instagram. I would love for someone to be able to help me with these things, and an illustrator as well, so that we can now start to put these books together as workbooks, which are much, much shorter, and then also books for kids too, because it's obviously a passion of mine. I love being able to teach kids so that they don't have to start where I did at 17 or 19 with my learning, right? It was really at 19 years old. And so, yeah, I'm always open to it. You have to understand, this is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life. I've been doing it now full-time for about 22 years. For sure, I'm going to be doing it at least for another 22 years, probably more like 44 years, right? So yeah, I'm open to the suggestions. I love the suggestions. We have an amazing community. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tara, and everybody for your support. I appreciate you. Thanks for writing in. And I'll be back tomorrow for our Motivation and Mindset Monday. Take care, everybody. Have an amazing start to the week.